Hello everyone and welcome back to Diamond Painting 211. I am your hostess with the not so much of a mostess, Emma. Today is episode 1 of Flosstube, of my Flosstube. So I already done, I was already doing this video. I was halfway through and my battery died and for some reason nothing saved. You will hear probably my daughter in the background as the schools are off today and all of next week for the October week. But not to worry too much. She's actually been quite good today. So we're going to make a restart by giving you a bit of background on my needlecraft. I have knitting. I learned to knit when I was a child. I was always watching my grandmother knit jumpers for me and my sister. I was always curious on how she was doing these stitches. I was looking at the patterns and I kind of got, because she was telling me the stitch names, so we got like the knit one, purl one, how to do the rib. So I got that. But while still in primary school, there was an after school class or club on knitting. So I learned more through that, and I came home with needles and yarn. When I was a child, we just called it wool. Regardless of what it was made of, we called it wool. So I came home with needles and yarn. And I was making a teddy bear. So yeah, I've been knitting since I was a child. I am 40 years old now. So yeah, so it's been quite a long time. Hang on. Nope, she's fine. Okay, so I fast forward. I've made many things. I made little jumpers and cardigans and jackets for my children when they were babies, even before they were born. I've made toys, blankets. I was halfway making blankets. I'll get to that though. But yeah, I've made clothes. It was mainly baby stuff and stuffed toys. You know, like you get those. I made teddy bears. I think I made, now we're going back a long time. I think I made one of those clowns or the scarecrows and stuff. I've made jelly babies. Haha. I made jelly babies. I made a Superman jelly baby as well for way back. It was like not long after 9/11. I'm going back now. So I was making jelly babies for a charity to auction off. So, and one was like a Superman, just like a superhero for the heroes that lost their lives that day, all those firefighters and everyone else. So yeah, I only just picked up my knitting again recently, thanks to Rachel Ray for showing all the stuff that she's doing and enabling me to pick up a project I started years ago and didn't finish. So yeah, I've started knitting again and I'm quite happy with that. It gives me something else to do. Can I do 3 hobbies throughout the course of a full day? I do my diamond painting through the day, and I go through and do some cross stitch in front of the TV, and then when my daughter goes to bed, my partner and I come back through to the bedroom where he uses this desk. This is, I'm in my bedroom, this is where this is. He uses this desk for his diamond painting and I'll sit on the bed with the TV on with my knitting. So yeah, it's nice and chilled when she goes to bed. I learned to cross stitch when I was 17, when I was pregnant with my eldest. She's 23 now, so about 24 years ago, over 2 decades. I'm old. I'm an oldie. Don't judge me. I was watching my mother-in-law at the time, my ex-mother-in-law, cross stitch, and I was interested and curious. She gave me a small one to try, so I started, and I've been stitching since. I have left it for several years due to college. I could say the same with knitting. That might be why I stopped knitting, because of college. I only just finished college this year. Through lockdown we had to do the rest through written reports online. But yeah, I finished college. I graduate. There's a virtual graduation at the end of this month on the 30th of October. So, yeah. All this time, 7 years of college, and there's not even a proper ceremony. I understand why, but at the same time I'm really gutted. I've been working towards graduation and now it's on a computer. Yeah. So yeah, started cross stitching when I was 17. Made samplers, made pictures, I've done cushions. I'll show you a little one, 1 second. So focus. This one came, these were 2 free kits that came with a magazine. It was either Cross Stitch Crazy or The World of Cross Stitching. I think it was Cross Stitch Crazy, which I used to subscribe to. And it was just little bits, and I think it was to make into cards, but I decided to turn it into this lovely patchwork cushion using fat quarters I had left behind. So yeah, I believe this is Margaret Sherry. These designs are Margaret Sherry. I'm not too sure. If it's not, if someone could please pop down in the comments if they know who designs these cute wee animals, let me know. But I have reason to believe it is Margaret Sherry. So yeah, this sits in my bed. This is one of my favourite pieces. It's small and didn't take very long, and I really enjoyed making it up. I learned to sew with a machine about 5 years ago, I want to say. Yeah, I had a machine for years. I was kind of self-teaching myself, and about 5 years ago I decided I was going to actually take classes. So now I know a lot more about the machine and the stitches, and I've made cushions. I don't have one handy to show you. I've made cushions. I'm just going to throw this back on the bed. Like, I've made bags. I've actually got one at work. It's got a cross stitch piece in it. I made that out of jelly roll strips. What else have I made? I've made bags. I've made cushions. I made a laundry bag. I subscribed to the Art of Quilting from, was it Hatchet Parkworks or D'Agostino? It was one of the two. I'm not finished that. I'm going to have to look all that out, but my sewing machine is on the table in the living room that I use for computer work, so I have to clear stuff off and get everything round, so it's just a hassle, so I've left that for now. Yeah, so I do enjoy like needlecraft work. I did try paper crafts and stamping and embossing. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but it's not something that I was majorly into, as in I don't have a huge stash of things, and the stuff I did have was cleared out when I cleared out my living room cupboard, so I don't have them anymore. But we're going to make a start. Let's start this episode. Flosstube episode 1. I'm going to start with this Gecko Rouge kit. I heard about Gecko Rouge, woo! I heard about Gecko Rouge years and years and years ago. Now let's see, I'm talking about when my son was a baby, and he's 20 now. That's when I first heard about Gecko Rouge. I've never ordered from Gecko Rouge before until this. I wanted to try them. I think it was mainly because I wanted to see what their charts were like in the Pattern Keeper app on my tablet. I bought the Pattern Keeper app for my Heaven and Earth, which we will get to in just a minute. You can choose a paper pattern, a PDF pattern, or both. I chose PDF only, and I picked this one for its size, its little detail, because there's not a lot in it. I'm looking at it, there's no backstitch at all, and its ability with the app, and I want to know what they were like as a company. I've heard so many good things about them. I bought this small cheapish one just to try them, and I think I will be buying from them again. But we're going to open it up. We'll have a look, and we have 14 count. Now, I say Ada. I've heard it being pronounced Aida. Either way works, but I'm just going to call it Ada because that's what I've been calling it for decades. We have good size of fabric, 14 count Ada. Do I have my tape measure handy? Nope, I will use a ruler. So we're looking at 12, about 13.25 inches. Is it square? By 12 and just under half, just under 12.5 inches wide. The design size is 5.5 by 6.71 inches on 14 count. So there's plenty of fabric on it for framing or whatever you want to switch it into, turn it into. The paperwork that comes with the PDF only version of the kits, you get a thread chart which gives you the symbol, the colour and the number they use on their threads. I believe they use DMC threads. I think they do it this way so it's not recreated, if that makes sense. So you can't sell on the chart and you'll have the DMC numbers there. I believe that's to protect the artist's work. The artist, incidentally, is Miss Cherry Martini. She's a lowbrow artist. We have instructions for cross stitch, and at the top it says always begin stitching from the centre of your design and work outwards, and that is how I've always done it until recently, and I'll get to that when I bring that one up to show you. It tells you general information on 25 count easy count even weave information. So it tells you the patterns are grid lined with 10 by 10. The 25 easy count also has 10 by 10 stitches per gridded square printed on the fabric, and that makes it easier for you to count how many stitches go along in that certain area. And it tells you about the 2 by 2, 2 by 1, 1 by 1 or 3 by 1. This represents even weave fabrics like Lugana, Belfast linen, that sort of thing. There's another one, I can't remember what it's called now. It says you may often see the reference 2 by 2, 2 by 1, 1 by 1 or 3 by 1. The first number represents how many strands you will need, and the second number represents over how many stitches. Now that means, let's say we're going 2 by 2, it's 2 over 2. We're using 2 strands of thread over 2 threads of that area you need to stitch in. 1 by 1 is 1 strand of thread over that one area, so it makes a smaller stitch. And I'm going to show you an example of that in just a moment. You also get with the thread card, pretty little to keep it all together. You get your needle. You can see I haven't started this yet, the needle's not even out the packet. With a label, handmade for you, kiss, and the actual pre-sorted thread card with the numbers on it. For the PDF version, you get a PDF version of the thread card of this alongside the PDF version of the chart. It's 2 separate PDFs, and you can import them both into Pattern Keeper to keep it all sorted out. I'm not going to get too much into Pattern Keeper right now. There have been so many people talking about it and so many videos on it. I think most of you who watch this will know what it is. I may go into details in my next piece that I'm going to show you. I might actually. So I'm going to pop all these back in. So this is Gecko Rouge and it's the rattle, and I thought it was really cute, like in a gothic baby. So let's get all this back in. So yep, geckorouge.com. These kits are handmade to order. So when you order up, excuse the watch, when you order up, it's not ready to go. When you put your order in, it is made to order. It's like they'll see what it is you've ordered and they'll put it together. They don't have a stockpile of ready-made kits. They do have some, and it will tell you on the website that it's ready to go. Yep, so that was the Gecko Rouge. I'm now going to go on to my Heaven and Earth design. Focus. This is, now I've spoke about this in a few videos already. This is The Silvery Moon Story Keep on Heaven Earth Design by the artist Jessica Galbraith. It's not available on Heaven Earth Designs anymore. I bought this chart, I want to say 8 or 9 years ago. I've only just started it this year. And I bought the fabric and the threads all that time. All that time ago to start it, and I've only just started it. Well, when I say that, this is how far I got before I realised I'm doing it wrong. That's as far as this side's going to go. There's still a lot more on this side to go. It's going to go even higher than what's on my fabric. I stitched this 2 over 2. I think it should be 2 over 1 or 1 over 1. So you can see I've been learning to park. I've only started to learn to park this year. So you can see where I've been leaving off. And I'm enjoying it. But I have to restart it. But I've got plenty of Lugana. It's 25 count Lugana. I've got plenty of Lugana, so I cut out another piece the same size so I can restart it again. I'm going to put a picture in of what it looks like. Not completed, but the picture that I'm working with. And I've got this chart also on Pattern Keeper. It's the reason why I got Pattern Keeper, because I'm also doing this design as a diamond painting. So I'm doing both. I'm doing it in cross stitch and I'm doing it in diamond painting. 57 colours, including the black. The other black is in the little basket I've been keeping it in. Yep. Sorry, I'm hearing background noises. I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, I'm going to start it again. I'm going to try it with maybe 1 over 1, 2 over 1, maybe 1 over 1 on the face. We'll see. But this here is, I love the way this looks. This whole colourway, it's nice and it's soft. Then you've got, it's a lady, Silvery Moon it's called. I don't even think there's a moon in it. This is part of her clothing right here, I think. But there's still so much to do. I don't know if I'm going to frog this and take the threads or just start from scratch. We'll see what happens. But yep, just gonna, I'll probably start this next week. But I will put a picture. The artist is called Jessica Galbraith and it's no longer available on Heaven and Earth, because when I found my materials in my chart for this, I had a look on the Heaven and Earth Designs website and it's not there. So yeah, that's like a discontinued one and it's getting done. I'm determined. The next item we have to show you is a subscription I took out from Hatchet Part Works called Disney Cross Stitch. Now you have to excuse my camera angle, I can't seem to get it any further back. I'm going to do a wee rejigger at some point soon. So I subscribe to this. I've taken out the premium subscription, which is like an extra £1 per issue, and it will generally come 4 issues per month. The first mailing was issue 1 and 2, issues 1 and 2, with this little kit, which I'm going to show you. This is this cross stitcher starters kit. Take that out because that wasn't part of it. So you get in this box, which is very dinky, you get a pair of thread snips, which I like to use, a sim ripper, seam ripper, get it right Emma, which I have a gazillion of. I've got them coming out of my ears. You get needles. With issue 1 you'll get your fabric and your threads, and you'll get 4 needles. I've put all the needles in with the ones that came with this little gift, and there are different sizes. So we have, right here, that's a size 2, I can see that off the back. This one, that's a 26. That one's a 24. And you need different sizes for your different counts of fabric. For instance, 26 count, oh sorry, I tell a lie, that's a huge lie. 26, a size 26 needle will be suitable for 16 or 18 count fabric. Ada, I'm dropping them everywhere. I'm doing really well. Whereas a size 24 needle will be suitable for 14 count or even 11 count Ada. That's because on a 16 and 18 count Ada or a 25 count Lagana or any even weave, the needles they're slim enough, sorry, to go through the holes without them falling straight through or making the hole even bigger. So for instance, I'm going to show you, this is 11 count fabric. I'm going to show you this in a second. If I was to use a size 26 needle in that, you see the holes, it's going to slip right through. If I was to use a size 22, it'll make the hole bigger. A size 22 would be fine for an 8 count. So therefore, you need different size needles for your different counts of fabric. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm doing so well. Episode 1's going great, yay! You get a thimble, which I rarely use. That's fine, a lot of people use thimbles, I just don't. And you get 4 needle threaders. You get 2 of these plastic ones that have like the traditional wire. Oh, can you see that? Put my thumb over it, there we go. So it's like your traditional type of needle threader, except it's got plastic and not metal. And you get 2 of them, and you get these ones, I'm going to pop this down, which is double ended, and these are my favourite type to use because I use them in different size needles. I tend to use this one for my cross stitch and for my knitting when I need to make things up. I've actually got a couple of these somewhere, but these are the ones that came in this description. This one's great for your sewing needles because it's smaller. So yep, that's the first free gift as part of the premium subscription. Can't remember what the others are. I will tell you when I get them. Just pop them back in. And in the first issue, you get your fabric, which I'm going to show you this in a minute. You get threads. I'm going to show you the threads. You get fabric and your threads and your 4 needles. And you get, these are all the threads you get with the first issue. These are the threads that come with issues 1 and 2. This box doesn't come with, this is my one box. I had to take some threads out and put them into another box. I had space just so I can use this for the Disney cross stitch. I've got this, I'm using this size because I know as the subscription goes on there's going to be more threads for different designs that you're stitching. These are my bobbins and these are just labels, so I can label the number that comes with these threads. They're not DMC and they're not anchor. Just keeps it organised for me. I will put more labels in as I need them. We're going to take a wee look through the first issue. It tells you about it. Now you have to excuse, clearly I have been using this. I'll get a binder my 3rd delivery I think, so not to worry. It says, well, welcome. Get ready to start stitching with this exciting new collection that celebrates the magic of Disney through the art of cross stitch and tells you step by step. Learn to sew 4 beautiful samples featuring iconic Disney characters you love. In issue 1 you get Tigger, the tiger, that's for the Disney sampler. I'll show you them in a wee second, there are pictures. Disney Stitches section is Mickey Mouse cushion cover. The motif library section, you get 2 of Winnie the Pooh, and I will show you. The Finch and Touches section is a Disney Princess border, and in issue 1 there's a part of a learning library. Know your equipment and stitching techniques. And if you give me 1 second, I'm just going to pause. Sorry about that, my daughter was floating about. Okay, yeah, so here are the samplers. This one is the first one that we're doing. So we're starting with Tigger. This is not a very good angle, the way they've showcased this. So this is the first one that we're doing, and I don't know what order they all go in, because we've got this one as well, and we have this one which I'm looking forward to because it's Alice. Love Alice in Wonderland. It happens to be my favourite. Got two favourite stories, Alice in Wonderland and The Snow Queen. Okay, so we have Disney princesses on this one. We've got Snow White. Yep, Pocahontas. Looks like Belle and Aurora. Who's that? That looks like... oh, it's Rapunzel. Cinderella, Merida, Jasmine, Tiana and Ariel. We've got Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, got Simba and Nala, Eeyore, Alice, Aladdin, Piglet and... oh sorry, it's Captain Hook. And you can even personalise the fourth... oh, this is the last one we get. You can even personalise the fourth sampler for someone special. So I think that one's left for you. That would be the last issue you would get. Who we got in the other one? So in the first one we have... I can't even see. Lady and the Tramp. We have one of the Dalmatians. Bambi. Pinocchio, Tiger, Dumbo, Winnie the Pooh, Thumper and Baloo. We have Mickey and Minnie, Donald Duck, oh, Huey, Louie, Dewey, Mickey by himself, Daisy Duck, I need to keep looking at this, Pluto, Donald and Daisy, Minnie and Goofy. So that's your four samples that you'll be completing in this, or I'll be completing. It's up to you if you take this subscription out. I'm not endorsing it, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So here we are, that's the first sample like I said, and we're starting with Tiger. And the way they do this, I have covered these charts up for copyright reasons, and the way they do this, you're doing it over, from what I can see, you're doing one design over 2 issues to break it down for those who are just learning. And you start Tiger with his orange, so you're starting down here and working all the way around, and then you're putting in the pink of his mouth and his tongue and the cream for his head, ears, face and tummy. Then you're putting in the dark brown for his mouth and the brown down here. And then you get to finish it in issue 2. Am I going the right way? No, I'm not. And there's the cushion, the Mickey Mouse cushion, which is fun. That looks a lot of fun. That is something I probably won't do, but I know a lot of people like things like that. But how many times can you really do a Mickey Mouse silhouette of that calibre? Yeah, I'd get bored. I would get very bored. That's the chart for it, which you're not going to see. Making it up. Tells you how to make up the cushion. And we have the motif library. We've got the 2 Winnie the Poohs. We've got this bookmark, which is quite, that one is quite iconic because we've seen Winnie the Pooh with balloons in his cartoons, his films, so yeah. And we have that bookmark. The chart's covered up for the balloons one, and I like this one because it looks like it's been sketched. I want to say sketchy. Sketched. And it tells you can make it into a bookmark, banner or keyring. I'm so sorry for all the yellow. I'm just going through my pile of post-its, which are different colours, and I had used up all my yellow doing this. We have a little saying here, this looks like you can cut out and make that into a frame, but with the punch holes in it, I don't see how you can make that into a frame, but you could probably cut that out and frame it. We have be brave, be kind, share a hug. On the other side we have, it's so much more friendly with 2, Pooh and Piglet. Yeah, he's best friend. He's so sweet. I love Piglet. I've actually, they used to do stitchable toys. There was Piglet, and he did have an area that I could stitch on, and I'd done that, and I think my daughter chewed it when she was a baby. We still have him, I just don't know where he is. And we have the princess border, where you can do Ariel, Belle, Aurora and Cinderella. We've got 2 castles, some flowers, a crown and a little backstitch wording saying once upon a time. Right, let's see if we can see that. Oops, I'm not doing very well, I'm not holding it properly. You can see the middle part is not stitched. You can do what they've done here and pop things on it. like badges, pins, or you can maybe stitch something in the middle to personalise it yourself. It's up to you what you do. In the Learning Library we've got an At the Glance, your essential guide to starting cross stitch. It teaches you how to follow the chart and key. Obviously I've covered that up. It tells you about the threads that are available you can use, your equipment, so to talk about fabric, needles. This here tells you what I've been saying, right? So size 18 needles is, says 6 count Aida, so that's the thickest needle, not for even weave. Size 20 needle is for 8 count, there you go, not for even weave, it's too thick. 22 is for, maybe it's a 22 they've given us in, but sometimes I use 24 without a problem. Size 22 needle for 11 count, or 22, 25 and 27 count even weave, 24 for 14 count Aida, or 28 count even weave. So the higher the number of the needle, the smaller it is. The same with the higher the number of count, the smaller the area that you work in is. 26 for 16 count Aida or 32 count even weave, 28 size for 18 count Aida or 36 count even weave. So I think it might be 28 in that little kit. So yeah, so it's good for beginners to learn the differences, and it tells you about the different fabrics and the sizes. The embroidery hoops that you can use. It tells you good practice and your stitching technique, so it tells you how to divide your threads, because stranded thread comes in 6 strands, 6 stranded cotton, and you take them apart, so it's like they're divisible, they're separate, you can separate them. It's for how many threads you need for your project, for your stitches, and this just tells you how to do that properly. It tells you how to thread your needle, how you can start off. This is how I start off my stitching when I'm doing an odd number of stitches. That's how I start mine off when I'm doing an odd number of stitches. When I'm doing 2 strands, I will take 1 strand of thread, double the size of that I need. I will then put the 2 ends together to make a loop at the bottom, and I will thread that through my needle, and then what I'll do is I'll bring it up through the back of the fabric. I'll make my first half stitch, bring the needle back down, and up the back of the fabric I'm putting that needle through the loop, and that's the only way I start 2 strands. I've always done that. I find it looks tidier and easier, and it tells you how to finish your thread. Yeah, that's the best way. When I first started, I was tying a knot in the end. I was 17. I had a pregnant brain. But that's how I start. I finish my thread all the time. I think that's the vast majority of stitches as well, if not all of them. And it tells you the basic stitches, like how to do your cross stitches, how to do your back stitches. Can I just say something? Back stitch is the bane of my existence. I tried my hand at black work, which was basically a back stitch project, and I enjoyed it because it wasn't too erratic, but I try not to do back stitch if I can avoid it. And we have part stitches. Now, part stitches to me are fractionals. I've always known as fractionals. This one right here shows you a quarter, and if you look, it comes up through the hole, and you pierce the centre square of that piece of Aida, of that little block that you're working on, to make the quarter. And then you bring a needle back up, and you bring it over that quarter you made in the centre, and that makes your 3/4 stitch. That's how I know them, as fractionals. So it gives beginners a good insight on how to do stitching. I believe the Learning Library will be in not every issue, but every other issue. If it goes by their other part works that I've done, the art of knitting, the art of crochet, and the art of quilting, like I said, it'll be in every other issue. And we have a project gallery. It tells you what's coming up in future issues. And on the back it tells you what's coming up in issue 2 and issue 3. And we're going to have a look at issue 2 right now. Because like I said, this first mailing had the first 2 issues. Issue 2. Another welcome, telling you can finish off your tiger for your first sampler. Disney Stitches, Snow White lunch tin and a Minnie Mouse spot cushion. The motif library is more tiger. And the finishing touches is Mickey and Minnie Mouse border and the backstitch font. So there we go, first sampler. We're finishing off Tigger in this issue. Oh, it's Patch! That Dalmatian is Patch. Cute! He's my favourite. So, finishing off Tigger. So we're doing the black stripes first. And then we're going to do the... Now, I'll get to this a second. We're going to do the back stitch. And then we're doing the border. Here's where it gets confusing for some people. Personally, the way I was taught and the way I've always done it, I do all the cross stitch first before I do the back stitch. It makes the back stitch and the detail for the back stitch more defined. If you were to do the back stitch and then do a cross stitch over that, you would lose that definition. I was very careful when I was doing this not to go over the back stitch. It also shows, I'm going to put this over, it also shows those 2 dots for Tigger's eyes are French knots. I'm lucky enough to be experienced enough to know what they are and know how to do them. I'm not the best, which you'll see in a minute, but at least I know them. It does not tell you in the key anything about French knots. It tells you cross stitch and back stitch. I'm not going to show you the dots in the chart, so I put them in. It doesn't tell you down here either. Oops. Anything about French knots. French knots, if your design, your project calls for French knots, they are always the last thing you put in. Always. And I'm going to pause you for 1 second because I need to see to my daughter. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Where was I? Oh yeah, it also shows you where you left off last issue if you were to buy this week by week from the shops. Okay, so yep, that's Tigger done. I'm just going to find the first page so I can bring it out. The next one on this is the Disney Stitches, which is the Snow White tin, lunch tin. And it looks to me like you just, I'm going to have a look at this in a second, you just stitch the fabric onto that to make it the lid of the tin. And I love this, a silhouette, just one bite. I know someone who would love this. Doesn't really tell you. Oh, visit us online to find templates and instructions for making all the projects in this issue. So I'll have a look at that later. Finished size is 20cm by 15cm when stitched on 18 count Ada. I can use DMC or anchor threads. Sorry about that. Okay, and we have we had the Mickey Mouse cushion in the last issue. Now we have the Minnie Mouse one. And this is worked on red 8 count Ada. So you're just stitching the white spots. We also have the motif library, which is Tigger's this issue. Going boing. He's Tiggerific. I like that. I want those pens. I've got a thing for pens, and I can see some very pretty pens in here that I want. That rubber sparkly. And we have also the key and the chart. And the little sayings that you can take out and frame is always original since 1928 with your classic Mickey and your classic Minnie. Love it. Classic colour, not classic black and white. And we've got You Be My Mickey and I'll Be Your Minnie by Minnie Mouse. Love it. This is the chart for the Mickey Mouse border. It's It's very similar to the Princess one from the last issue. They don't have a picture of it for it here. However, I did see at the front of this issue, bring that up, right here. So we have a Mickey mini silhouette, Mickey and Minnie classic head silhouette, pink bow for Minnie. We have hearts and stars, swirls. We have Mickey and Minnie down in the bottom. We also have the heart with the Cupid's arrow through it. Cute. After that, we have a back to basics. This is the backstitch font that's showing you. I'm not keen on showing this either. I don't know the corporate issues for just a backstitch font. Unless it says it's free to share, I will not share. So from what I can see, we have uppercase and numbers, larger uppercase and lowercase. Larger and smaller lowercase. I know, I'd like to show you, but I can't. I really can't. This font can be used on any count aider and for any project. It will just vary in size depending on what count fabric you are using, which makes sense. And the project gallery they're showcasing is it's a Peter Pan. All you need is faith, trust and a little pixie dust. Laundry bag, from what I can see. Probably use it as a toy bag. For me, it'd be a stash bag. We have little Bambi. Looks like it's stitched onto a t-shirt of some kind. That would be used. That would have been done using soluble canvas, which I've used in the past. We have Cinderella. Not too sure what that is, but we'll find out when it arrives. Alice. Alice. I actually just might do them. I love Alice. And the motif library is Dumbo. And speaking of Dumbo, he's in issue 3. So we start Dumbo in issue 3 and we finish him in issue 4. It does say somewhere. Yeah. Right there. At the cover, issue 4. Finish stitching Dumbo. Alice. My favourite. One of my favourites. So I'm going to show you how I got on stitching Tigger from issues 1 and 2. Going to focus. There we go. Lovely. And I'm going to show you what I mean with the French knots. I can do them. I'm not perfect. His eyes. You can see. Let's see if I can hold this properly. This one looks a bit more cockeyed than that one. So I'm going to go back in and fix this. It's a bit loose. I have to go to the back and tighten it a bit, I think. So I started this when it came through. I want to say nearly 3 weeks ago now. I started off obviously in the orange. I've made a mistake in his tail where I put it too high up at the base. So this part wasn't lining up with this part. So I left it because it annoyed me. And I picked up again on Monday of this week. Unpicked what I'd done because what I'd done is I started at the foot and I went up the tail my half stitches. I came back down to complete the stitches, then I worked up that way, and when I got to about here I noticed I was wrong, so I left it because it annoyed me. And I picked up again Monday there, unpicked, I frogged, the term is frogging because you go rip it, rip it, rip it. That's why it's called frogging. If you didn't know why, if you're unpicking stitches you frog it, it's because you rip it, rip it, rip it, you rip it. So yeah, I've done that. Then I went on to do the cream. No, I didn't. I lie. Done the pink of his nose and tongue. Then I've done the cream of his head, ears, face and tummy. And then I've done dark brown and the light brown of inside his mouth and the floor. This is over through the course of the week. Last night I started the back stitching. Last night being Thursday night, I started the back stitching, and I told you back stitches have been in my existence. I had to put on my glasses and use a magnifier to get into his mouth because it's very awkward to see this on the chart because it's so many back stitches tightly together, very close together. So backstitching last night took a bit of time. So after the backstitch, I started the border. And the way I done it, it's probably a long way for a shortcut, is I done the inside part of the border. There's that eye going away again. I'm coming back round, and then I done the outside. And last night I got to here. I got to here, and then I put it down for the night because it was time to come through to the room and do my knitting while my partner done his diamond painting. So I got up this morning. For some reason I'm a bit more awake than normally am in the mornings. And I finished the border. That was the last 3 stitches I popped in. So I finished the border. And then done the back stitch. No, the back stitch, the French knots. So I need to, I need to fix that. He looks cockeyed. And he's got one big eye bigger than the other. But I could just tighten it up at the back a bit. It'll be fine. So yeah. That's what I've been up to. I'm not finished showing you anything, but that's what I've been doing so far. Sorry about that, had to see to my daughter again. So this is one of the needles, which now I'm looking at it, I think that is a 22. This one of the needles came with, this is one of the needles that came with the fabric for this subscription. My needle minders is Jareth from the Goblin King from Labyrinth, and Moomin. I don't actually need 2, but I like them, and I put them on because they're fun to look at. When I'm tired of looking at orange and black, I look at my Moomin or my Goblin King. And the fabric is 11 count, which is 11 count fabric, which measures 12, let's see, 14 1/4 by, tape measure's not handy, oops, by, yeah, it's almost a square, 14 1/4 by 14. And you can see I have been using a hoop, but I'm going to have to stop using the hoop for this one because it's very close to this edge and I still need to get other designs on. This is where it says I have to work so many rows down and so many rows across to put my first stitch in, which was down here. So this is supposed to be the centre design. It looks off centre, but that's the way it's meant to be. If we look at the sampler itself, Tigger is off centre, and you see the other characters are quite close to him along with the borders, so Pinocchio should fit in nicely there. I will let you know if I've messed up. So starting from the centre point, you count down, you count across, and you make your first stitch. That's with this one. So yep, that's the Disney cross stitch one. I'm now going to show you my big project, which I've actually put down for a while. Bring it out. It's got my other needle minders on it. Here we go. Sorry, my daughter again. Her dad is not in at the moment, so I'm back and forth. And this is why I don't normally video when she's not at school. But I want to get this done today, so I've got it out of the way, so it's ready for tomorrow. Because, well, this is Friday, you'll see this Saturday, it gets put up on the Saturday. And I want to get it done so I can get into editing and get it scheduled to go up. So, I don't know if you can tell what it is. This is the Van Gogh sunflowers from DMC, and it's the National Gallery collection. I don't have the front picture anymore. I will put one in. And do you remember I said I've always started from the middle and worked out? This one is the exception. I've started, let's see, from here. And what I've been doing I have been working down. This is the first page. There's 4 pages. I have been working down and coming along, and I'm going to be working up. This is as far I've got. I'm not stuck. I have been doing the tiger, and obviously I messed up the heaven and earth. So these, as you can see, I have been parking till there's no tomorrow. In here I have the chart, which I'm not pulling out, but I'm not using it either, because I've imported this paper chart from my scanner onto the Pattern Keeper. Now the difference of doing that than using the PDF it's compatible is you cannot search for the colours. You can only highlight in Frog, and you can what else was it? You can highlight in Frog, alright, it's highlight in Frog, and in the other icon you just move the chart about. That's all you can really do. Highlight Frog and put in your park. These are the colours for the sunflowers. So it's 3 different cards, and they're all pre-sorted. So I did not have to do this when I bought it. I bought this kit a couple of months ago from John Lewis for £40, and I'm doing it because it cost me £40. But I am enjoying this one. I am going to be back on this one this evening, get a bit more of that done before I do any more knitting. I will put it in. Now, I don't... Do I have the dimensions of it? My Heaven and Earth Designs, I meant to say, is 70 stitches by 283. So that's how many cross stitches there is in it. So that's how many diamonds I'm putting down for the diamond paint one. But we're not talking about diamond painting because this is Flosstube. That's the charts. That's just charts, yeah. The Van Gogh. So we've got the chart here, and I don't think it's actually telling me the dimensions because I don't have the actual packet it came in anymore. Right, hang on. I've actually written, I'm not going to show you this, I've written on the chart so I could work it out for Pattern Keeper. Right, so we're looking at is that 82? 102. Let's see. This is a full coverage design, so it's not like little motifs, or it's got the main the main project design at the front with bits in the background. This is a full coverage, and this is why I did not start in the centre. I started in the top right hand corner. Right, let's have a look. So we're looking at approximately 205 down, I might be wrong, with, I want to say 200 and, oh I don't know, so 129 across maybe? Right, hang on, I'm going to do some counting here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Right, it's somewhere over 100. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to sit and count each square by square. I don't have the details for it because I was decluttering after I set up the fabric onto my frame. So yep, Van Gogh sunflowers. And this is the one I started to learn to park with, and I knew I had to learn to park because all the different colour changes. And we have more needle minders. All my needle minders came from Manda's Minders. I found her on Facebook and ordered through her Etsy store. Got our business card here. Let's see. Manda's Minders. And the back just says, thanks for choosing Manda's Minders. I can't remember how much they were, but I bought 10 in total. I gave one, which is an autism one, to my partner because he also cross-stitched now and again. He's wanting to get back into it. So I've got my blue butterfly, I've got wibbly wobbly timey wimey written on a TARDIS, yep, that's me. I'm a Whovian. Alice, had to be done. I've got a blue butterfly because that's my favourite colour, butterflies, and butterflies is my favourite creature. We have the white rabbit, and we have a heart with flowers in it. I also got the Moomin and the jar of the Goblin King that I showed you, and I have a heart with colourful stripes, a rainbow heart, and cannot even remember his name, but he is like the big friendly fuzzy creature from the labyrinth. Yeah, that's my big project. That's my big stitch, and this is my ongoing one. I will be doing more tonight, so I have to make sure my tablet is charged for my pattern keeper. So that's all my cross stitch that I have got to do. That I am doing. I've got lots of kits. I'm not going to go through my stash. This video is going to be longer than I thought it would be to begin with. Okay, so that's the cross stitch that I've got to do on the go. I'm on to my knitting now. And the first one I want to show you is my sock. This is the Regia sock knit kit. I cannot remember if I bought this or if I won it. It was that long ago. But I've done one sock. You get 2 balls of this beautiful Regia sock yarn. It's called Self Patterning Yarn. You get 2 balls of 50 grams, so it's 100 grams. When I finished this one the other night, I made a start on the second sock. So I can get this off. And all I've done is I've done the ribbon for the cuff, and I've done the first row in normal stocking stitch, which I'm just knitting stitches, plain stitches in the round. So I'm going to be doing, I'm hoping to continue this over the weekend. I'm also going to be doing it in these 2 beautiful colourways as well. Oh, love them. Just check my battery level. Gorgeous. So this was the project that I picked up when I got inspired to do my knitting again by Rachel Ray. This is the one I was talking about. And I was going through my stash bag. I also found another sock kit that I got, can't remember where from, and I did make a start on it. You can see that I unravelled, but it was just a ribbon of the cuff, so that's to be done as well. I'm absolutely loving the grey colour. I can't see it very well, it's a very old tub. Love it. This is also, let's see, this is, it doesn't say. Let's see, this one's got the ball band. 75% superwash and 75% superwash new wool, 25% polyamide. And I'm going to assume, going by that, it's 4-ply. Because it doesn't say anything else, and they're both 50 gram balls. This is 4-ply as well. Yep, 25% superwash new wool and 25% polyamide. Yeah, it's 4-ply. This is also 4-ply. So the pink and the blue is going to be this. I'm just going to follow this pattern. Looks like somebody I know, to do this one. I don't have much in the way of knitting to show you, but I do have one more. My empowerment bandana. Thank you again to Rachel Ray for the links. I saw Rachel Ray wear her empowerment bandana, and before she even spoke about it, I fell in love. I thought that was gorgeous. I want one. So after she spoke about it, she said there was a link. So that was me. I had to get it. So this is it here. It's the Empower People bandana knit pattern. from Casa Pinka. There is a, I'm not going to show you the pattern itself. So there is a website, Empower People 2020. I will pop that link down if you want to get one for yourself. And it says 4.5mm needles. Now they do specify a length, which is 24 inches. These are not 24 inches, so I'm having to bunch my stitches up on any purple double knitting yarn. Also says you need, is this knit needle circular or straight? Well, I've got straight. Always need a tapestry needle for seaming and weaving in the ends, and a locking marker. Gives you the gauge and its sizes. I'm not going to go through it all, even though it's free, and it tells you, let's see, copyright 2020 by Casa Pinka. Thank you for knitting my design. You are free to sell finished bandanas using this pattern if you like. Please spread the word to knit it. Casa Pinka. Instagram and Facebook are both Casa Pinka. And the patterners, if you need help, pattern assistance, casapinkahelp@gmail.com. Right. I am so sorry, my battery died. Anyway, as I was saying, we were out to get our new phones. I think I was just talking about that. And while we were in that part of the city, I was wondering if there was any places I could buy my wool from, any haberdasheries or wool shops. So my partner had the research, and there's one which was only like a 2 or 3 minute walk from where we were to get our phones. So we got our phones and we walked up, because I wanted to go in with the specific of buying a purple yarn, get a new pair of needles, because my needles are buried in a cupboard which I haven't had a chance to clear out, and also bought stitch markers and my knitter's needles. I bought them, and then I find my plastic one. So when I say knitter's needles, it's the stone needles to weave in the ends. Right, okay, so this one is Kind Cold Glitz Double Knitting. I was looking at this one and a Stylecraft one, which is a deep dark purple, and when I showed my partner the PDF of what I want it for, he said get that one. This is stunning. I love this. There's nothing majorly fancy. It is made from, I'll tell you in a second, 97% premium acrylic and 3% polyester. So it's not like a fancy yarn. The polyester is going to be the little sparkles that you see. The acrylic is going to be the yarn itself. So I started Tuesday. It was Tuesday we got it. This is when I started it. I got to about here when I noticed I made a mistake. So I had to unravel it and start again. I did learn a new technique with this one. I'll show you. I've always cast on my stitches with a knit method. I'm just going to do this to show you. So I've always done it as if I was knitting. Instead of taking off that needle, I put the extra stitch onto the first needle. That's how I've always cast on. This pattern calls for the long tail method, which I had to look up and learn. And once I got the knack of it, I can speed it. It's very similar to the thumb method, which I have done before, only if it was called for. But I've done the long tail method for the first time in my life. The bottom looks a bit funky. But okay. So I've got but yeah, I learned a new technique. Who knew? I've been knitting since I was a child, and I learned a new cast on technique which I did not know about. There we go. Every day's a school day. These stitch markers are just my progress markers. I bought these as well. I'll show you. I put them in a tin. I'm going to put a nice pretty label for this. But these are the tins that I used for lip balms when I was making them. So I got the locking markers while I was there. So I've got one here. This is the progress I left on Wednesday night. I marked that off. So this shows you everything that I'd done last night, on Thursday night. That's all. So when I started from the beginning, I got this far. This is all I've done Thursday night. Yeah. yeah, I was tired. I was really tired. But I'm enjoying it. It's very simple. Sorry, my partner is texting me. Very unprofessional. But I'm really enjoying this. It's so simple. It's the increase methods is something I have been doing for years. It's nice. It is a simple pattern. It's good for beginners. I will say this, it's good for beginners. Because all you're really doing is, I'm not going to go through it with you, but it's not difficult. It's mainly just knit stitches. The vast majority is knit stitches when you get to the start of a row. But I bought the needles. These are bamboo because I knew I was going to have to go a hunting we will go for my other ones. So I thought, you know what, I just want to make a start. So that's the Casa Pica Empower People bandana. And I want to say thank you to Rachel Ray for bringing out my knitting bug, because I love what she's doing right now. When I saw the bandana around her neck, I had to get it. Before she even spoke about it, I couldn't keep my eyes off it. I really liked it. And she's doing right now what she called a yarn cozy. And that was what got me to look out my socks again, because she's doing them in double pointed needles. Okay, and I want to show you these. I bought these years ago. They came in these tins. They're from Atomic Knitting and they are stitch markers. This one, I believe, is it this one? Yeah, these were the first ones I bought. These are known as halos. And I actually have one on my socks that I'm doing to mark off needle 1. And I'm showing these just now because I have other things to show you. So I fell in love with the red halos years and years and years ago. And I got my partner to look up atomicknittingagain.com, and they're still in business. I got these years and years and years ago again. These have got the clips on them, so they'll be good for your crochet markers. They don't have these ones anymore. I had a look, but I want to show you this. So, like I said, they're back on. They're still in business. Had a look. I've not even opened this up. And I bought more. I bought more halos. We've got Atomic Knitting, accessories for knitting and crochet, happy post. Get a free stitch marker just for you. Oh, and 15% off your next order with code HAPPY15. Right, okay. Thank you for supporting my small business, Emma. 2006. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is when they first came around, and that's how long I've had these for. 14 years. Wow. Okay. So, oh, I'm excited. I haven't even opened these yet. You can buy them with or without the tins. I've got tins. That's why I chose without the tins. These are the ones that I picked out first from what I can see. Halo rings. The fit needles up to 4.5mm. How beautiful is that colour? Oh my god, can you actually see? I believe I got 20 of them, and oh right, with my needle. Yes. So it's good when you have to like count a certain amount of stitches, put a marker in, so you've got that marker for if you need to turn at that point. I'm using one right now on, I'm going to put it in here, my needle 1. I've marked as needle 1 for my socks. So these are the halos. These are my first halos. These are the first things I ever bought from Atomic Knitting. I just got these through on Wednesday, and I've been dying to open them, but I wanted to wait until today for the video. Oh, right, yes, these ones. These ones are, oh, look at them. These are more of the clip ones. Designer stitch markers for crochet. Look, it's balls of yarn with needles in them. I love them. I cannot remember how much I spent. I'm going to put a link to Atomic Knitting into my description box as well. Oh, I love those. The different colour beads. Oh, what else did I get? Right, hang on. I've actually got a couple of unboxings to do. Oh, I want to say thank you to Atomic Knitting for still making fantastic products. Oh, I've got more balls of yarn. I ordered 2 of these, so these are just the same. I love them. So you get 5 in each pack. I ordered 2, so I'll get 10. Oh, I've got more. More yarn. I really ordered 15 of the yarn, but I knew I ordered 20 of the halos, but I know I'm going to be using them all, so yes. Atomic Knitting, thank you Atomic Knitting. I bought these were not gifted, they did not contact me. I bought these because I wanted to see if they were still in business, if I could get some more, because I bought them from, as you can see, 14 years ago. I'm going to use that code. Oh, valid until the 31st of October. Get a move on, Emma. Okay, boxing number 2. I have no idea what this is. I'll cut that. Okay, so I've had to redo this piece of the video because this just came through and my dress was still showing. So I had to cut and scrub it out. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it's related to. I don't remember ordering anything from Kira Pets or whatever. I don't know what it's related to. I'm going to have a look. Oh, what's this? Kaiwai Crafts, handcrafted cute. What did I order? Yeah, you have to keep me off the internet. Oh my god, this is so cute. Oh! I know what this is. Oh, but I just broke it. I broke it. This is an Animal Crossing thing. So I'm going to have to pause just now. Right, 1 second. Oh, I broke it. Sorry, my partner came home. Right, okay, I'm going to fix this. This is from Animal Crossing. This is a DIY recipe card in a bottle that you find on the beach in Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you don't know the game, it's available on the Switch. I've been playing it since March. I've been an Animal Crossing fanatic since forever. I love this. This is like a bell bag. I am going to have to fix this. It's a key ring. I actually remember. This is from Jade Abbott from Kaiwai Craft Designs on Etsy. Look at that. That is the cutest. That's going on my pig of business cards. Oh, I can't believe I broke it already. Yikes. Thank you, Jade, so much for this. I will fix this. I'm sorry I broke it. I don't want to use it. It's a key ring. It's so cute in the bag. It looks like a bell bag. Look, it's a bell bag. If you don't know what bells are, it's the currency in Animal Crossing. Oh, can't believe I broke it. Gutted. Right, this. Right, this is the big box. This is the last one. Taking my name and address, covered up. It's from Amazon. And I want to keep this one for last because this one is related. So we're going to open it together. I know what it is. We're going to open this together. Come on, Emma. Okay, big box for a small box. I hate it when you do that. Here we go. that can get recycled. The Knit Pro Wheel Winder. I want to turn my leftover yarn into yarn cakes. So I bought one of these. I've never tried one before. I've always made my leftover yarn into wee balls wound by hand. When I finished, I want to make them into cakes so they're easier to store. Let's have a look. Oh goodness, more tape. Let's see, for that perfect ball of yarn. The wheel winder. Instructions on how to do it. It tells you what everything is. It tells you how to set it up. Let's have a look. Is on the other side? Yep. In German. Instructions in English and German. Right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to play with this later. Alright. Clamps onto a desk. I'm going to clamp it. Oh right, that's actually quite far down, this little wing nut. And I'm going to have fun! So, never used one of these before, only heard about them last week. Ordered this Sunday. It came Wednesday. And I didn't open it until today. Ha! Woo! That's mesmerising. I'll be even more mesmerising with the yarn on it. So I assume that's where you feed the yarn through. Let's see. Got the ditch. Okay, so that's the ditch. Ah, this is the ditch. The bobbin, the body. No, the ditch, the bobbin, the body, the handle. Obviously we've got the rubber clamp and the wing nut and the yarn guide. So let's see. Setting up your yarn guide. Right, okay, what is here? Set winding table, setting bobbin into bobbin holder. Okay, there's only one way for this to go. Okay. Ah, you can see this. You place the end of the yarn and the ditches, and you feed it through. You feed it through the thread, the yarn guide, and you place the end through the ditches. And then you turn the handle, and it makes perfect balls of yarns and yarn cakes. Can't remember how much it was. I did ask if I could buy it though, because it's another thing to bring into the house. But I wanted to show you guys as well, as I'm excited. Okay, so I think that's everything. I've covered everything. I'm going to tidy up now. And I shall leave you with my usual words of wisdom. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Don't be an idiot. Thanks for watching. Bye.